Hi, everyone. This is Mary Curick with Frontrunners Innovate. And today I have a really special treat, someone who hits the heart and soul of probably everybody that comes to our platform, and that's entrepreneurship. But we'll hit a few other little cool things around that that have to do with leadership and global, let's say, collaborative efforts. And so I have today with me Vijay and Srivastava. I'm going to mess up the last name, but we're going to call him Vijay because he said I could. And Vijay is the global founder and social Imagineer, and we're going to ask about that title because I love it, for the International Academy of Entrepreneurship and Employability in the UK. And I love that. We're all about entrepreneurship and startups and innovators and what I call the world's problem solvers. So that sounds like a social enterprise to most people, and on purpose. Now, you also kind of have the same role with the Indian Academy of Entrepreneurship. So we'll get into that too. But let's start when Vijay was a little boy. So when Vijay was growing up and how he got into the entrepreneurship space. And what was the bug that got him there? What was the bug that bit you that said, hey, this is what we need to be about for the rest of our lives? So Vijay, I'm going to give the floor to you to get us caught up on you. Okay.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you. Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity and having me here with you for the global audience to know about our global mission and movement. I'm Vijay from India. I come from a middle class family wherein my dad was a technocrat, my mom was a homemaker. I have got my wife who happens to be a homemaker and nurturing two children, grown up children. The elder one is doing his actuarial science, and the second one is going to join his college very soon, either in UK or in Canada, or possibly in India. That I don't know. My journey started when I was in school and college. Uh, and of course, my parents, the credit goes to my parents who have been serving community, who have been serving humanity for a long time. And when I was there in college and in my master's from one of the reputed universities, central universities of the country today, known as Jawaharlal Nehru University. And of course, it's a proud moment to share that I have my alum called Mr. Dr. Abhijit Banerjee, 2019 Economics Nobel Prize winner. So he happens to be my alum from the same school I passed out from. So that's a great opportunity for me and a matter of pride for me to share it. So Abhijit sir happens to be my alum, senior from Jawaharlal Nehru University. And I have got my master's background in sociology. By qualification, I'm a sociologist. I did my master's, an MPhil, and partially my PhD from Jawaharlal Nehru University. I did my master's management graduation from different university called Management Development Institute, and thereafter got into the corporate world. Started working with 500 fortunes like McDonald's International, which is what was the institution where I started thinking in terms of dreaming in terms of creating my own institution. And that was the foundation. The McDonald's was one company where I set up my foundation of building this institution named International Academy of Entrepreneurship and Employability. I have got a global experience working with corporate world like McDonald's, like Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation, and then DHL Worldwide Express. And thereafter, of course, I worked with one of the leading business houses of the country in India, that is with Reliance Retail, the richest person of Asia, that is Mr. Mukesh Ambani, and reached to a level wherein my passion, my profession of human resources got converted and got graduated to the level of creating this institution called International Academy of Entrepreneurship and Employability. So the roots of this complete thing lies here in India, which is where I'm working, operating currently from. And of course, later on, we decided to extend and have our holding company in United Kingdom, which is where we set up our holding company there. And the third chapter is about to be launched in Nigeria. So initially, our focus is going to be Asia, Africa, and thereafter we will be going to North America and South America. That is what we are planning to do. To the vision of International Academy of Entrepreneurship and Employability is to nurture innovation, entrepreneurship, and employability. So this is basically 4 words, which is what we are working on, and that is where we are determined to give it back to the community, create this community and the IAE worldwide family to cater to the basic human needs of dignified livelihood solutions.
Cool.
The global mission and movement, what we talk about is basically, we call this institution, this is a humanitarian social entrepreneurship institution, and we are enablers of people resources
Mhm.
for dignified livelihood solutions and wealth creation based on the foundations of entrepreneurship and employability. So these are the 2 foundations, entrepreneurship and employability, are 2 foundations based on which we are trying to create an opportunity to enable our human resources to get an access to dignified livelihood solution, and thereafter next level is to create wealth for themselves, for the family, and for the society. And all these things what we have been doing and what we're trying to do all around the world is going to be through collaborative innovation and social technology.
Okay.
Without these 2 things we would not be able to do anything.
Right.
So that's what we are doing. However, ultimately, everything is going to be resulting into like say, serving humanity.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the ultimate objective.
Yeah.
So
Of course.
we want to reach to each and every doorstep of this world through our technology platform by giving them an access to dignified livelihood solutions. And of course, whatever we are going to do is going to be in line with Sustainable Development Goals of UN Charter 2015 to meet our agenda 2030. So this is what is overall about my background and coming to the level of creating.
Yeah. This is great. I wrote down, you can see my pen because I'm writing some notes here. Why Nigeria first for the efforts that you're doing? Why are you wanting to go to Nigeria first? I think you mentioned that.
This idea of, this is a very unique blend and idea of putting entrepreneurship and employability together. It's not that there are people around the world who are not working in these 2 spaces, but they are working in isolation. What we are working on is basically in a way wherein these 2 things are complementing each other. And these 2 things are charging and recharging each other.
Yes.
So without entrepreneurship, there won't be employable people resources. And without employable people resources, we would not be able to create a startup ecosystem around the world. So that is how, and that is where we are different. That is where we are a differentiated institution, and we have created this complete foundation in a way wherein there is no institution in the world which can ever think of creating this kind of blend. Okay, and eventually meeting the goals of our global, like the vision of Sustainable Development Goals, starting from no poverty, no hunger, okay, gender equality, okay, in terms of life above water, in terms of partnership, in terms of whatever you talk about, all those 17 SDGs are going to be basically, it's all connected with what we are doing. And eventually, if the bottom line is that we talk about the livelihood, everything starts from the livelihood. And our mission and movement is all around dignified livelihood solutions. So dignified world is going to matter a lot for everyone in general, around the world, in particular, in third world countries.
Yeah. So, what made me think about Nigeria is because we do a lot in Africa, and I have a Nigerian business partner, and we do a lot with entrepreneurship and education that sort of thing. And I think that from what I'm hearing and what I've read about Nigeria, I can think of a few places in the world that would need it more from what you're talking about, is helping to create that sustainable factor there with the employability and the entrepreneurship, because you're right, they do go together, and together that's the economic development engine that you have, that creates that sustainable piece right there. So as you talk about the types of things that you're doing, give me some ideas of programs and ways in which you want to achieve the impact that you're looking to achieve.
Just to give you an example of Nigeria only, let me give you, this is going to be our third chapter, the very first chapter.
Okay.
And the origin of International Academy of Entrepreneurship and Employability starts from India. That is, Indian Academy of Entrepreneurship is the very first chapter where it started. The story started way back in 2016. It's been 4 years, close to 4-5 years. And thereafter, of late, we took a call to set up a holding company in United Kingdom, wherein we thought, like, say, because United Kingdom happens to be a place and a country where, of course, there are so much of intellectual capabilities coming from all around the world. Okay. And beside intellectual capabilities, there are people who have got capital and wealth capabilities as well.
Yeah.
So that is why we thought, like, so we'll have our holding company out there. And the third one which we are talking about is going to be in Nigeria. The gentleman who is going to be our country chapter head, he is Mr. Nabil Mohammed. He happens to be my mentee, my mentor, and my student, my coachee from one of the universities of this country, from India. So that is where I met him. And we started interacting with each other 2 years back. And I told him that, Nabil, we target to set up our chapter in Africa, in different countries of Africa. Would you be comfortable taking the charge of the country chapter head of Nigeria? He was pretty excited. He said that, Vijay, anything or everything related to humanity, anything or everything related to entrepreneurship and employability. So that is going back to Nigeria's story. So what we are going to do, we are going to set up this chapter, and the first project which we are going to be launching out there in Nigeria as a startup is going to be related to three spaces. One is going to be EduTech, education technology-driven mobile application, which will guide the students out there, starting from school children going up to college, and under our master's students or students getting into research. So that's basically mobile application, which is going to be advising them or navigating their complete academic career through mobile application. That is one. Second, what we are going to work in the space, and we are going to set up this startup, is going to be a blended technology of solid municipal waste management. So this is what we are going to set up there. The technology is going to be transferred from India to Nigeria. We'll be setting up this technology, and through this technology, our idea is to, threefold idea. One is to set up a startup, innovative startup, and help the community to address their day-to-day issues. Second one is to generate employment opportunity. Okay. And therefore we have to have trained human resources. So we impart training programs to be a part of this startup, which is what we are planning to launch out there. Okay. And the third piece of this is that out of this complete setup, when we launch a startup in any country, innovative startup, we promote and encourage people to be converted or graduated from this employment level to the entrepreneurship level. Okay, because International Academy of Entrepreneurship and Employability does not subscribe to the philosophy of employer-employee relationship. We don't have employees today. We have got 3 chapters, 3 big countries, and we have got 50 plus co-founders with us. However, we don't have a single employee on the rolls of the company. But when we create a startup, that is where we start absorbing and employing some people and train them and bring them on board with us. Even out of that, Mary, let me tell you, suppose there is a startup where we have got 10 employees working to begin with. Out of those 10, 3 to 4 employees within a time span of 6 months to 1 year, they land up becoming an innovator or ideator with us. That is where we are creating a human chain, startup chain, okay, and a chain of talents which are basically going to be more and more job creators than job seekers. So that's how it works.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So I love the plan. I love all of that, and especially love the solid waste management issue, because that is a real concern in some countries. And I just wrote down 3 names that would fall in line with the entrepreneurs who are trying to make a difference in that space. And all 3 are in different areas of Africa, as a matter of fact. So yeah, that could be very interesting. So as you look at what you're hoping now, this is your next thing to do, which is creating the chapter there. You know where you're going to go after that. Talk to me about where next, the direction you're going into, what types of areas you mentioned. I think Asia. So tell me a little bit about what and who you're looking for, what you're looking to do, and who you're looking for to do it with.
Yes. So our focus is Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia. So Malaysia is going to be next to immediately after Nigeria. We are going to set up an academy in Malaysia.
Okay.
And of course, South Africa is another targeted country, wherein, to your surprise, Mary, and that is where I'm so very fond of bringing in more and more women. Women have to be there, and gender equality, okay, and women empowerment, women emancipation, okay, women freedom in terms of economic freedom, in economic interdependent. They have to be they have to be, you know, on their own. They don't have to beg in front of
Right.
male folk or whatever you call it. Very, very okay. So that is where, you'd be surprised to hear that I'm going to set up a chapter, an academy chapter in South Africa, where I have got 4 women.
Okay.
4 women, and all of them have been working in the sector, humanitarian, social, and development sector, okay, since last close to 2 decades. Okay, they have been corporate tycoons working with best of the best FMCGs. Okay, and I want them to take charge as country chapter head. Most of these people become co-founders, and that is where our entire global mission and movement is targeted towards one of those or all 17 of SDGs, gender equality. So
Yeah.
we are going to have by 2022, I'm expecting to have 50-50. 50% co-founders have to be women and 50% co-founders would be men. So that is something which may sound to be interesting to you, but of course it's my life ambition and it's my mission, and I'm working on. And most of our global, like say, uh, governing board members and governing council members, they are also with me on this. Okay,
Yeah.
and that is where again I need your help and support as a media and a journalist, okay, to make us reach to different parts of the world, to bring in more and more women, to bring in more and more girl children on board with us, okay, so that we can work for them, we can get them empowered to an extent wherein they are the one who don't become a cog in the wheel. They become basically the drivers. They are on the driving seat. Let them drive the society. You know what is the reason, Karen? You know what is the reason? I'm just trying to be, you may be recording it, but let me tell you, and it is a fact of my life. It's only mother. It's only mother who is the eye opener of humanity on this planet Earth. This particular connotation cannot be challenged even by Almighty. It's only motherhood which is able to be an eye opener for humanity.
Right.
Almighty cannot challenge this.
Beautifully
Can
put.
he challenge this? Yes.
As a mother, I appreciate that. So, thank you. This is great. So if we were to sum up the types of people you're looking for, then you actually are looking for, women and men, but, clearly you want to give opportunities to women so that they don't shy away from, they step forward, who might be interested in being country heads or supporting the effort in some way. And right now, other than Nigeria, which you already have someone that's established there that's going to help, recruit the others and set things up there. You're also looking in Malaysia and Indonesia and Thailand, these places that you just mentioned. I wrote down, hang on, Singapore and those sorts of places. So after Nigeria, you'll be kind of looking around there. So what we're looking for as far as qualities in these persons, some leadership skills for sure, some interest in entrepreneurship. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
That is, again, you'll be shocked and surprised to hear the criterion what we look for is the person has to have fire in the belly, no educational qualification required,
Okay.
okay, non-negotiable integrity, okay, 24/7 psychological engagement that the person has to give it back to the community.
Yes.
The person is living his or her life for the community more than for herself or himself. Okay. We don't have any discrimination in terms of except age. Anybody who is 14 plus here or legally allowed in any one of these countries, okay, is eligible to join us as co-founder, okay, as me and my club. That is something which is an interesting point which you must make a note of it. We have got a club called Mission Entrepreneurship and Mission Innovation Club. That is called Me and My Club.
Me, my.
And that's the club. Everyone, even I, every year I get my membership renewed out there. That is called Me, ME, and MI, Mission Entrepreneurship and Mission Innovation Club. That's basically the entry to IAE Global Worldwide Family. And there is no barrier in terms of qualification, in terms of gender, in terms of any quality what we look for. I'm working with one of the honorable ladies from one of the countries without name. Let me tell you, she happens to be a homemaker and she is nurturing her 6 children. She is single parent. She is a single parent, illiterate lady, and the quality which she is carrying in order to be country chapter head.
Yeah.
There are very few leaders around the world who would be carrying those qualities.
Gotcha.
And in fact, I'm going to have most of these women on board with us to bring in service, quality service level within this institution called International Academy of Entrepreneurship and Employability, which is for humanity, which is a humanitarian institution, which is a social entrepreneurship. Okay. Of course, last point, which will alarm you this thing to the audience, to the global audience, is that we are not for profit. We are not for profit, but we are a for-profit social entrepreneurship venture. And finally, the call has to be taken by the country chapter head, whether they would like to have an academy chapter as for-profit or not for profit or for philanthropy. So
Gotcha.
that's their call.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, there's lots of flexibility that you will work with people on how to create their presence inside of a country. And I think that's great. You need to give them some support and they'll get that from you. I think this is fantastic. I love the fact that you're spreading around. You've got a good plan on how you're doing it. And I applaud you for all the efforts, because tying into the SDGs is really important for all of us. And we have a partnership with United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network. So we appreciate all that you're doing there. I would say, is there, if someone out there is looking and they are interested in seeing about the country head sort of leadership situation, how might they get in touch? How might they find out more information? Website?
Of course, we have got our website.
Yeah.
Anybody can write me directly to schedule a virtual coffee meet, which is where we can start our meeting.
Okay, very good.
Take it next level. The induction and orientation happens with the help of our other governing board and governing council members, as defined within the Constitution of International Academy of Entrepreneurship. And we are very much accessible, approachable, and affordable in terms of quality of services.
Great.
We have to reach, our global mission is to reach the 7+ billion population of this world through our technology platform.
Big, ambitious goal, but my guess is you could probably do that. So we're going to see what we can do to help you.
Mary, if Google can reach, and Microsoft and Imagine can reach through technology, why can't we?
Yeah.
So we, International Academy of Entrepreneurship, is going to be the Google and Imagine of entrepreneurship and employability. And unlike us, there is not going to be, like us, there is not going to be even a single competitor. There is nobody who would compete with us, putting these two things together. Thank you, Mary. Thanks for having me.
That's fantastic. Thank you. So as we end up, what I'm going to say to everybody watching is, if you're looking at this on YouTube, go to www.frontrunnersinnovate.com, where you'll see the interview there, but you'll also get some more information. We'll input all the social links in the website, every way that you can get a hold of VJ. that you need to get a hold of him. So we'll make sure that you have all that. So thank you, VJ. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for all that you're doing to help basically the bigger picture, which is the economic development and the sustainability factor for some of these countries that need it. And who doesn't, honestly, at this point, especially after pandemic. But thank you again, and for spending this time with us, actually, this fine day. So thank you very much. And thank you for watching, everybody. And until next time, make sure that you're on Front Runners Innovate so you catch up with us all the time. So thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mary. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you.